Hey everybody, I would like to welcome you to another episode of Pop Culture Gems. This is a series where I, Davis Green, talks to amazing creators, artists, cosplayers, voice actors, and so much more. If you like the interviews with our terrific guests, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the CFG channel. We release Pop Culture Gems on all podcast services and also on our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com. If you like or would like to support the podcast itself, you can always become a CFG member by going to the CFG.store. Today, I am talking to a voice actor who has a cool voice acting history that I've been checking out recently. They have been in several different kinds of anime and video game series. He has played he currently plays Ryusei Shido in Blue Lock, Beat in The World Ends With You, the anime series, Kelvin in Black Summoner, to just name a few. I would like to welcome Van Barr Jr. to the show. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic, and I got chills. That was a great intro. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, thank you, man. I was looking forward to talking to you last week, but like I was saying earlier, I was like, man, I had to reschedule. Got to just had to wait a little bit, you know.
Right up, yeah. Life happens real quick, so I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you, man. I know, but anyways, let's get this party started as always. So, anyways, like, what is your story? Like, what got you into voice acting?
Yeah, for me, let's see, it was probably like either late or mid 2017, and I was actually full-time military in the Air Force stationed in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, quite the leap, but like, yeah.
I think that is
kind of a Hail Mary when you think about it, but like
that is the most. I would have to say that's the most out of all the voice actors I have talked to. That is the most extreme one, because not only that you're in the military, you were in a different country while all this was happening.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of journey, I guess. I started off, and of course, like when you're on like basically a giant island, like you don't have a whole lot of opportunities as far as like training or even like doing like work. So like I actually started doing a lot of indie properties. So for like 6 months or so, it's kind of trying to figure it out. Like, oh wait, how does this mic work? How does so I can't record next to my refrigerator? What's background noise? Like, so it's like for a good like it probably took me like honestly, like probably a couple months to get like my bearings straight as far as like treatment, so it's suitable to actually do stuff in any capacity, let alone a professional one. But yeah, I was working on it. I had a little background in like music production beforehand. Before I joined, I was a DJ in college, so like I did know a little bit of stuff, but like not quite the same like extreme as far as like that. But I was working on it, and then like 6 months in, I actually booked something, and it was a video game. It was like, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, it was Edge of Eternity, which was from this beautiful French studio, Studio Midgar. And I booked a thing. I was like, wait, what? And then I realized, like, wait, hold on, this is on PlayStation? What? Like, what do you mean? I can do that? I was just, I felt like I was just playing around. Like, wait, hold on. And so like I kept doing it, and like the more I was doing it, and like I had some successes, but of course when you're starting out, like you're gonna flop on your face, you're gonna learn, you're gonna get better. But like as I was thinking about it more and more, it's like, wait, I'm really enjoying this. This is kind of fun. That's kind of neat. I'm on that box. Like what the like.
You were the main character. You were the main character in Edge of Eternity.
No, I was the. Are you familiar with the Sega series?
Yeah,
I was basically like one of the mid boss characters on there. It's like
okay.
So much fun, like full on villainy, just just really just tune into these guys. Like it was a good time, and I had so much fun with it. And then just work like that I like the hamster wheel was kind of spinning a little bit. It's like, wait, wouldn't it be cool if like I could actually get like easy training without having to hop on a bullet train to Tokyo for like a class with the 10 or 12 expats, like so it's like a whole thing. And
man.
It's it wasn't like a spur of the moment decision. It was just kind of like sipping whiskey at a bar. I was like, man, that'd be cool. Like
what the heck? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're at a you're at a Japanese bar.
Like, that'd be really neat.
Yeah, you're like, you know what'd be really cool to do? Voice acting.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like it's kind of crazy, and I knew it was crazy, which is why, like, like when like you have like just like even just like a cool daydream, just like you just kind of keep it to yourself because it's dumb, it's crazy, it's like insane. But like
Hmm.
the more I like, the more I started thinking about it, how much I was enjoying doing it. Like I slowly kind of built up that courage, I guess, to kind of like hey, I've been doing this for a while. I'm having fun, but I think I wanna go to the States and give this a real shot. And then
Hmm.
I was like really trying to I was trying to talk myself out of it too. It's like, I don't know. They're like then I was making like a 5-year plan, like, okay, so if I might get some bits in if I'm like 3 years in there. If I'm over there, then that'd be cool. And then if I'm on the West Coast, then maybe I can go to Bang Zoom and do like that class that I've been looking at that I couldn't do because remote was not a thing back then. Like not even like you know what? You know who had a remote class? Um, it was a Steve Bloom. He had a remote seminar. He did it way before COVID started, and that was as close to education as I could possibly get for voice acting specifically.
Do you know what
And
do you
man,
know the hilarious thing about that? Like he
mm,
said that Steve I talked to Steve Bloom about that, about Bloomhouse
mm,
and stuff that he did, and then he said that he just wanted to give it a shot to see how it was going to go. Like 2 live sessions, then it just
yeah,
blew up, and then like I was
yeah.
just like, wow, okay, well, yeah, and it's funny because actually I signed up for it like a month
Mm,
ago
mm, mm.
just to see how it is, but yeah, that is insane. That is
Right?
so
Yeah.
insane. Okay.
And you know what? It's like it's funny, but like that kind of kept the hope alive a little bit because like when you're like stuck on not stuck, I was having a fine time, but like when you're on an island, literally, and like you're like you want to do all these things, but like as far as like time zone differences or like having the capability to even get like any sort of like training or whatever, it's kind of
Mhm.
a far flung daydream.
Yeah.
So I decided to like, hey, you know what? And in the military, when they send you to a base, they go by whatever job you have. Me, my background's like kind of computer stuff. Did a bunch of random things between my first year was in the UK for a little bit for like special operations support, which is really weird. And then went real geeky, and they sent me to Japan after that. In which case I was doing like the long haul infrastructure, getting a little bit of get a little bit of like the let's see, uh,
Networking.
yeah, networking, so like the base itself could have internet essentially.
Mm.
Um, but
Wow,
yeah,
that is great.
and
So wait, how long were you in Japan
it
during
was
that time?
3 years, 3 years, and I was working in like basically this like old like looking Vietnam era bunker, like like I kid you not, like they'd have like these big old like rusty steel doors, and like if you swung it too hard, it would hear just like this boom, like freaking like I don't know, like oh god, what's that one dude from Resident Evil with the bazooka? Like he's just coming down
Oh,
the hall.
Nemesis or
Yeah,
Tyrant?
like
Yeah.
Nemesis coming down the hall. Like you better hide your kids otherwise. You're going like, but
Oh
yeah. So
man.
yes, so I was basically stuck down there. The daydream it got I don't know, just
So
got
like when
started
you were,
thinking about it more.
yeah. So like when you were there, like how long? Like when you decided to, like, I mean, you said 3 years. So like when you decided to just shoot
Mhm.
your shot on it, like what
Yeah,
was that, like in the middle, like beginning of it, or
about,
just
about
okay?
2.5 years in. Yeah,
Wow,
'cause,
that is incredible. And so
yeah,
so you came back from the military in literally
uh,
in 2020, a year
yeah,
before COVID.
yeah. So like I was still in Japan, and then let's see, I got a little sidetracked. But how it works is it's kind of random what base you get, but it goes by your job. So I was like, you know what? I think I'd like to try going back to the States, and they gave me like a couple options that I might be able to get, and then one of them was Idaho, and like, which is, because like I was trying to go like full big brain on it. It's like, okay, maybe I see one in California, maybe I could do that. In retrospect, probably wouldn't have been the best fit, but Idaho is actually really close plane ride to Burbank, which is like an hour something plane ride. So I was like, wait, hold on, if I do this a little bit, save a little money, maybe I can fly down there for like a weekend thing, and I did that. I had it was the Adventures in Voice Acting class with Tony Oliver, and is a I was in there for 2 days. Basically spent the week in Burbank, and then I knew it was like, dude, this is great. Like even if I don't like go fully commit to this, like having the opportunity to just like to potentially go down there and like at least dip my toes in the world even harder. Like I was content, but man, and then I just kind of started thinking about it more. Like, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool to like do this in like Texas or something? Because like they're saying that like in Texas it seems a little bit easier to start out, especially in anime,
Hmm.
and like being separating or being a veteran at the time, Texas handles veterans pretty well. So it's like, hey, maybe that'd make more sense for me. And then I did that. I came to Texas. And for about like 9 months or so, setting up shop, I was doing another gig, kind of networking side, enjoying it, taking more classes than I could, like all the classes I couldn't do in Japan, all the classes, and was doing that remote because COVID kicked off pretty hard around then, I think.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there was like an in-person class. It was one of them. It was Kyle Phillips, and he had like a team of other directors and things. Austin Sisk rolled by for one, like all kinds of big names. And
Wow.
towards the end of it, there is we had a we started off with like a monologue, and I picked one from I took a course with Michael Tatum, J. Michael Tatum,
Yeah, I did
and
Michael Tatum.
yeah, he gave me a nice monologue to chew my teeth into. Delivered that, and I think I did pretty well because like after we did the actual in booth stuff, I felt pretty good about it. I didn't expect anything because I was like, once again, my 5 year plan. I he was like, okay, like even if this doesn't lead to anything, like even down the road, just being able to do a couple of things, then I feel like I'm on track. But so like after that class, I got my first audition through Funimation, and it was The World Ends with You. By They had all the characters from the original game from the DS. Your Neku beat, uh, oh god,
Yeah. No,
Shiki, everybody on there.
yeah.
And I was like, man, I know this game. This game was amazing. Like, what's happening? Why is it back? Oh, there's a new game. Oh man, that's crazy. Then I worked a long time on that audition, like almost 3 hours, just like
Oh
nitpicking it,
wow.
like just really just kind of like digging my teeth into it. And man, I booked it. I freaking booked that thing, and that was my first Funimation gig, and it was crazy because like I would get called in, and like it's peak COVID. Um, they had like a security guard in the front, which is like the only guy in the. It felt like the whole building. Like little like footstep stamps to where to get to Studio One, which I'm looking at it, and it already came out. They were working on one of the My Hero movies, and so I'm especially anxious because like, oh my god, this is happening. This is weird. Okay. And like, oh, you walk in, there's like nobody in there. So you put your headphones on, and I just hear like a voice is like, oh, oh, hey, are you Van Bar Jr.? It's like terrible impression. Terrible impression. It's like, man, that just was pretty good. Yeah, really bring it in. You're fine now, but at the time, that was like
Was
the
that
first voice I
Justin?
heard.
Is that
That
Justin
was
Cook?
oh no, it wasn't Justin Cook. I did eventually work with Justin though, which is also weird because like, oh my god. But no, that was it's now a good friend of mine, Marcus Stimac. He does a lot of directing at the moment for a lot of the shows. He does like the night work on it,
Hmm.
and yeah, like him, he was working with Kyle, and they called me in on it, and oh gosh, it was crazy because like we did the first episode in studio, probably just because like oh he's new to the
Hmm.
area, and
Hmm.
like the building's gonna close, we're gonna get a new one, so I guess we'll just call him in physically. Maybe they wanted to confirm I was actually there in Texas or
If you're
something. I have
real.
no idea. I don't even know. Probably actually, but then the rest of that show was in this closet booth that I am currently streaming to you right now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so crazy. Wait, so was this at the was this at the old Funimation studio, or this wasn't at the
Yes.
new one yet? Okay, this wasn't the
So
transition.
for people listening at the moment, so I guess there's like two other Funimation studios, right? There's the first one at like a banking building, and then the one I'm talking about was the second one at Grapevine, um, which you probably seen like a lot of behind the scenes if you're checking out the Blu-rays and DVDs.
That was the flagship though, because originally, because like I remember when you walk into the past of the front of the front desk, to your right was the creator of Funimation's office, and I remember that, and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
that is
Oh man,
insane, yeah,
surreal. And like it's especially surreal because like I was saying, like most of the stuff was pulled out. So like all that cool swag was like
yeah.
gone, minus like just the functional stuff for like the studios. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, just like
Oh,
doe-eyed, like, wow, this is cool. Hopefully, I'll get lost. Oh, yeah, like,
that is hilarious,
oh, man.
unbelievable. I have to say, man, dude, that story is insane. It's like it's the best story I have heard ever on how you got into voice acting.
Crazy. It's crazy. It honestly is. But yeah, it's like that's like, oh gosh. Yeah, looking back, it definitely like a Hail Mary, really.
That
I
was an
didn't expect to
incredible
get
Hail
anything
Mary,
out of
yes.
it. Like I just, I just wanted to be in the area so I could work on stuff. I had the potential to potentially work on things over here. And then I was doing it. And it's like, okay, I guess that's faster than I was planning, but here
But
I
then
am.
again, though, too, when you think about it, too, like what I've noticed though, too, that it wasn't like you just kind of picked up a mic and then that was it. You were
Yeah.
gradually going through like different kinds of like you were learning as well along the way to kind of
Yeah.
improve yourself to get to where you're at as well.
Yeah.
Because like that's the one thing, that's the one thing I think a lot of people kind of miss
Yeah. Oh,
with
for
this kind of
sure.
deal. Yeah.
Which I don't understand because like as far as like getting the opportunity to like work, especially with like like active directors, like where else are they gonna hear you show your stuff or like or see your booth etiquette or like make sure you're not like a at least like the wrong kind of crazy like class. Go to class. Like, that if you learn anything from this, go to class. Like, but
That's true. That's so awesome. And
uh,
like you said, yeah, like you said too, earlier too, that you said you were in the military and you
mm-mm,
were stationed in Japan.
yeah.
But when you got your first taste in voice acting, like was the VA in your like initially in your long term plans, or was it an opportunity that made you want to get in the game like even more? Like it like
Oh, yeah, the
once you
latter for
did.
sure. It was not in my long-term plans at all. I
Uh,
just wanted to have like just some sort of like the ability to just kind of try it and go for it, really. Like I didn't anticipate being like some like mega celebrity or something or have any sort of like goals in that mind or even to be in like the bigger shows. I just like just having the opportunity to just like maybe do it. And then I got way more than I bargained for.
But what got you like? What made you just get the drive to just say, "Hey, I got to try this out"? Like, what made you just kind of make that decision to kind of jump the
I
shark
don't
and just say, "Hey, let me do it"?
Right? Like, I don't like, I was looking back, and I don't think there was a singular moment. I think it was just, like, just over time. It's just, like, I don't know, maybe just, like, slowly kinda, like, building up a little bit of the courage to just give it a shot.
So it was like it was just a little voice in your head for a little bit, and then you were just ignoring it when you were doing your
Yes, yeah,
career, and then all of a sudden
basically.
you just decided to just say, you know what, let me listen to what my insides are saying, and then just give it
Yeah,
a shot.
that's honestly, yeah, that's probably about as close as gonna get right there.
Wow, wow, well, that is, yeah, that's even more because I'm like usually when it's like I would have thought like, oh, you listened or you watched something and you've been like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me just look into that some more because you know it's funny.
Mhm.
I'm also in the networking field. Like I'm a
Oh,
network
cool.
engineer. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. For and I'm like when I saw it when I was going to school and then I tried I was originally going to do computer science and then I
Mm,
was like, you know what, I don't want to be like a code monkey or anything like that, you know, like, you
mhm.
know, just punching code all day and stuff, and I wanted to see what my other option was. I was like, oh, Cisco network engineering, and
Yeah.
then I looked into that and I was like, I was doing configurations. I was like, okay, I gotta try this some more. But
Yeah.
but but like voice acting to you was
I
just
know.
like was always just came in. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Your intrusive thought just said, okay, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, like truly, it's honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's
I
definitely
love it.
blossomed into way more than I even could possibly hope
Oh no.
to. Yeah, like
Hey, I respect it, man. Like I
I
respect
appreciate
the fact
you.
that you jumped how you just jumped in and just went and did what you got to do to get better at it too.
Yeah, man. Like, and a lot of it too is like in booth experience, especially working on like dubbing specifically. Like, man, I think my second session was probably, oh God, what was it? It was a couple months later after we were finishing up The World Ends with You, and we were working on. I think it might have been Attack on Titan. I had to look a little bit or something, which was a huge step for me because like. One, it was in the booth I'm currently talking to you right now because once again, peak COVID, and then like another, it's like it was on Cartoon Network. Like what?
Oh wait, it was on
Yes.
Attack on Titan was on Cartoon Network. I don't remember that.
Or
Wow.
Adult Swim. Sorry, Adult Swim. But like
Oh
you know what I
yeah,
mean. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's like man,
yeah,
that is so crazy. Dang.
yeah, man. So
You know
like
what's
this is the first
crazy?
time. Yeah.
You know, that's like I guess that's the one good thing that came out of COVID was how the whole AD like audio like voice acting like how voice acting is done now has totally morphed into working from home as opposed to going to the studios anymore. Now it's more accessible
And the
anywhere
real
anywhere.
kicker, like, people have been doing this for a minute now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, COVID kinda put it to the forefront for a little bit, but, like, there are people who are, like, had way better setups than I do, who, like, had this figured out for a long time. I know the commercial world, especially, they've been doing it at home for a minute too. Like,
Ever
oh my god.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was, like, the one of the few times where it could, like, "Yep, that prelay show on Disney Channel, yep, they were in their booths, or makeshift closets." And they were working on it. And so
Oh man, it's hilarious. That's
yeah.
really hilarious. And what do you like to do when you are away from from voiceover work? Like, what's your hobbies?
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit of a gamer, I think. There's nothing really, like, really caught my attention, like, so, like, for, like, really gotta sit down and, like, drop 50 hours on it more recently, but, like, I'm a little bit of a gamer, like, I absorb a lot of different media. Was a huge fan of, Stranger Things. Just waiting on the next season. Um, man, shoot. Man, I don't even know. Like, for a minute though, like, truly, my hobby was going to class.
Oh,
That
really?
was
Like
my
just going,
hobby. Yeah,
learning?
yeah, learning. Like, truly, 'cause I enjoyed the aspect of working with other people who kinda have, like, the similar either dream or, like,
Mhm.
like, a little bit of, like, experience in some different areas, different lanes of voiceover, and just being able to interact with them. A couple of my good friends, actually met them in class, and we still hang out to this day. Let's have a
Mm.
pizza party are you familiar with, Lexi, Nieto?
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, I'm going to
yeah.
talk to her later this week.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, we go back, like, 3 years, like, we were in the
Yeah,
same class.
that's hilarious. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep, yep.
Uh, yeah, yeah, that's cool. Well, like what you the what would you your hobby the hobby itself though when you go inside and when you're away from it, are you still like learning, are you still going to different kinds of classes still to this day?
Um, Not as like, as much of a sprint because
Hmm.
when I did come to the States, I think I've worked with at least, like, oof, it was almost like 20 different instructors.
Hmm.
So definitely an investment there. Um, but yeah, a lot of like kind of familiar names you could uh, probably pick out. I wonder if I can even go down my list real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with guys like Richard Horvitz, or
Mm.
Cricket Sweetheart. I worked with
Was
had
Richard
one with
Horvitz? He was
oh,
what's
Invader
it called,
Zim.
Invader Zim? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and hell of a
Uh,
boss right now.
yeah, for sure. Which is such a cool voice too. Like,
Yeah.
there's someone who took like his instrument, like, and made his own lane. Like, and if you remember, or were you a Power Rangers fan when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, you
definitely.
remember Alpha 5? Ay, ay, ay,
Yeah,
ay, ay!
yeah.
Richard.
That's
Y-
him.
That's him.
Oh, I didn't know that was him. I didn't know that
Yeah,
was Richard Horvitz.
that's Richard.
Oh
Like,
no.
Richard was actually doing anime back in the day too,
Oh
believe it or not.
wow. That
Yeah, dude. Like, you remember, it was on, I think this was on Toonami. Do you remember Zatch Bell?
yeah. I remember that the weird blonde haired like
Yeah,
marionette
the
doll.
lightning through its mouth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, remember that, like, that that horse character with the
Yes.
that's Richard.
God dang, Richard's all over the. I didn't know that
Yeah,
Richard
dude.
was all over the place like that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit of anime, man. Like,
Yeah. Oh, and I did see you play a Fall Guys yesterday
oh,
with which
I
was
did.
hilarious. Which was
Yeah, I was
hilarious.
on a brief. I was on a stream with good
Yeah,
friends of mine, and
yeah.
we were making fools of ourselves. We were having a good time doing it. So,
Oh, that's so awesome. And like as well, like one thing I've also been been loving to see recently as of late was the diversity in voice acting now that's is now so much more than ever
oh my
before,
gosh.
like for the longest of time. And I would like to know like about like your personal experience about being like a person of color in the professional voice acting game. Like how has that been so far for you?
Whew, like, oh my gosh. Like back in the day when you think about it, we didn't really have a whole lot of
There was
representation there.
no, I mean, we had Phil Lamar.
Yeah, we had Phil. Oh my god, Phil's
That
so cool. I'd love
he
to meet him
is.
someday. And like even in anime, we had like what Bo from Cowboy Bebop, like,
Not
and
even
then
Bo Billingsley. Yeah, but that was like
yeah,
one role. He didn't do anything at like
right,
I
and
mean
like
he was on and off, but like for a series,
yeah,
like nah.
yeah, they'd pull people in for like like the I hate to say it, but like the token black parts, but like
Mm-hmm.
as far as mainstays, it's pretty rare, and
Mm-hmm.
the people who were working were incredibly freaking talented. So it's like, why? It's like you look around, it's like, what are you doing? Like, like, but now, for me, I feel like I kind of have like a middle upper register in my natural speaking voice. But
Mm-hmm.
especially back in the day, like I feel like they only bring in brothers to do like the low parts. And then I found myself having to figure out how can I do that so I can actually work a little bit more. Like, and I'm looking at like guys like Zeno, who like I know like they people ask them to do that low read, even though we know he sits at a medium or medium high,
Mm-hmm.
and that was definitely my experience for a lot of my indie work. Um, as far as like doing
Well,
anime,
they're forcing you to kind of
oh
go in a lower pitch on
oh
your indie
yeah,
works. Oh.
oh yeah, for sure. It kind of worked out in a way because like now I know I can do that. But as far as like when you have to modulate your voice like that, like as far as like being able to do, I don't know, like a just kind of like stretch your emotional range on a read, like you're kind of like you're in a little tiny little pipe after that. So can't. It's hard to like stretch and really like really bring a performance out when you're trying to like pitch it down or even pitch it all the way up. So it felt kind of like I don't want to say pigeonholed, but but like that fear came up before I even like moved down to Texas, like full go. That's like if I'm doing this, I don't want to be just stuck in a shtick or to do that. And I'm happy to report that it's not been my experience, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. They tried me out in a variety of different ways. I'm so glad I picked Texas too because I feel like there's definitely super like they're on board with like and like dude like oh man if you could see like the engineer side and the recording rooms, like dude, like a good like quarter of the office is black, like maybe more.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't know.
I
Wow.
yes, dude. It's kind of crazy, and like nobody talks about it, but like it's like we're representing in there. That's all I'm gonna say.
uh, I just like it because like I've seen recently. I mean, I've talked to a lot of different like the one thing I really love that like I mean, you even talked to like Nazi Tarsha the other day, and then as well as well, I would love to talk to Zeno, AJ Beckles, and like all
Mhm.
these different folks. But like, I guess the biggest thing I was really worried about was that uh
Me too.
the yeah the thing I was really worried about is exactly what you were talking about typecasting and then the stereotype and then I've heard crazy stories with stereotyping with black roles originally for voice acting, but now like when I saw you play Kelvin in Black Summoner, which I
Man,
had no idea that you were like. I was like, oh, who's Van Barr? I was like, who's this Kelvin? And I looked it up. I
right?
was like, this dude's black. Cool. I was like, I love
Yeah.
it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I
Yeah.
try to be low key about it, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's like when you like for I mean Zeno's going up. Like Zeno's
Mhm.
probably like is really going like it's the top echelon right now in my
Yeah, he's about
opinion.
to be like household name, I think, pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you got
They
like
like
folks like then you got like folks like AJ Beckles did Tokyo Revengers, and I was just
yeah.
like main dude Tokyo Revengers and stuff, and I was just like, this is what I was exactly what I was looking for, because you know how people were getting mad about like white folks were playing black roles in
Mm-hmm.
characters and stuff, and I was like saying, you know
Mm-hmm.
what, I wouldn't mind that if they just gave the same kind of situations for the other way around, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, but yeah. So, but now that you're seeing it like more and more now, as of now that complaint I think is kind of diminishing. I mean, I still think we got a long way to go,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah.
we're making it feels cool to be a part of like just a smidge of progress, I guess, you know?
Yeah,
Like it's granted it's within like 4 years, 4 or 5 years, but like we're
yeah,
still like, we're still
but
treading along, but man, it's a big difference from not so long ago.
hey, that 4 or 5 years has gotten a lot further than
Woo!
where we have been like ever, like really
Yes.
towards it, and it looks like it's getting more and more. So I'm definitely down. I'm gonna take it. I'll
Yeah,
take
man.
The semi W for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a full W.
In full
We're doing
W,
it.
okay.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that was my first like not a co-lead, but like a lead
Mm-hmm.
lead.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was on Black Summoner. I played Kelvin, the Summoner. And oh gosh, we worked with Jason Lord, who's probably familiar with from his work on Gundam Witch from Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we had a 12 episode run for the first season of that, and I got to do my attack screams and and death scythe attacks and things like that, and had a blast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a fun. No, I love that. I love that was a fun series. I'd
Oh,
say
appreciate you.
a good fun random isekai, because like
Yeah,
yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
summer flavor, and that it was just before Chainsaw came out, so it's like, oh, okay, all right, okay, y'all watching this, huh?
Oh my god, that's hilarious. And also, like, I mean, another character you've recently been playing was Ryusei Shido, which I hope there's a season 2 in Blue Lock. But
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
coming.
Oh, it is? Okay, I didn't know if there was announced. Oh, thank God. Like you have that you really make him easily hated.
Oh,
Like,
I appreciate you. Yes,
real
yes.
easily hated. Yes, but
I'll make you feel.
yeah, there you go. I know. It's like the first time you meet him, and then he's like, "This cocky son of a yeah,"
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I just wanted to know, like, how was your experience when you were playing when you played him? Like, what was it that you kind of modeled him towards?
So for Shido's fun. For that, the audition itself was pretty lengthy.
Mm.
They had a bunch of scenes from the manga, earlier scenes, and kind of like where his arc goes. So I got to
Mhm.
like kind of experience that a little early. And it's kind of close to what I played in my audition. It did kind of like when we worked with Rig, the director for that show. Love Rig. He kind of like guided me along the way. But for Shido, I'm especially excited because he's one of those characters where like it feels like there's no guardrails.
Mhm.
He's crazy. He can do whatever you want. So so I am so excited, and like but for him, he kind of has like a weird kind of like seductive element to him, but also like if you get close enough, he'll probably bite your face off, which is very fun. Um, he's gonna get a little screamy too, so hopefully the
Oh,
little girl.
really?
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh man, they're not ready. I know I played them kind of loud, but that was intentional, so it can suck you in.
Kind of
Um,
like sultry, kind of right
yeah,
now. Like, he's
yeah.
like very cool and mellow, but he's like the meticulating like dude that's just like, he knows how to press the right buttons to get under your skin, and
Yes,
then it's
sir.
like, oh my god, yeah. Like, it is so fun. I love watching sport. It's funny. I don't know what it is, but sports animes just hit different in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
I was actually having a conversation yesterday about this with a good buddy of mine, Alan Lee. He's playing in the new Mortal Kombat right now. He's Shang Tsung, and like we're talking like, man, like for me personally, like I feel like it's a travesty that Haikyuu wasn't on like Cartoon Network or
Oh
like
yeah, I totally
you
agree.
know,
Hmm.
like oh god, just print money. Like it's already
Could
a
you
mega
imagine?
success.
I was
Oh
gonna say,
god,
it's like, could you
so
imagine like
good.
that series, like the fans alone in that was just ridiculously large. And then could you imagine if it was on TV on top of that?
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh,
wow.
yes. Or like Kokoro Basket. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, yeah. Like sports animes, especially in the States, hit
Mm-hmm.
different. Like
I
like
just love like no, you're totally right. Like I just love the well, I love that the time frame. Like time is weird in sports animes because it's like when you're kicking, because like when they basically explain to you this is what this person is doing and
yeah,
this is what he did, and then they have the crazy, oh my god, what is he doing? He's charging up and all this different kinds of stuff, and it's all it is. It's like, oh, he just did it. He just he just curved the kick. That's all he did. But it's
but
like
he's got this aura. He's got
yeah.
the aura. That's what the kids say these days. He got the aura. Like,
Yes, I love it. It's like I used to watch what's called Hajime no Ippo, and
oh yes,
yeah,
dude. Yes,
like
yes.
the chapters of reading it is like 7 months long, and it's really 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It's 3
He
rounds
really
of
did it
boxing.
great.
Yeah.
And it came out so epic. Like the first time he did his freaking liver punch, or like leading up to the Dempsey roll combo. Like
Yep.
you're just having a good old time. Like that's another one. Can you imagine? Like put that on
Yes.
Adult Swim.
Oh
Like,
God, yes, that would have been amazing. Like I don't, yeah, but this it's oh man, but it is really. I can only imagine how hard it would be to be like, okay, we gotta pick this banger. Oh, we gotta pick this banger because they just
right.
rolling out so many different anime series throughout the
For
year. I mean,
sure. And like
yeah.
feels like there's way less studios to work with now too. Cause like
Oh, that's
I don't
true.
even know how people procure like different shows or how that works. But like man, like
Mm.
to be a fly on the wall for people to make the decisions, just do a little whisper like get Hajime no
That's probably exactly it too. Other again though, to be as lucky as 4Kids Entertainment because how they picked up.
Somebody knew what they had.
I don't think they did.
Oh man, how did it go? Like I think they ran into a lot of issues, not so much with like the script writing itself, but like with like certain like regulations for children's television or something. So like
Yeah.
they were like forced to make certain changes, which were kind of dubious. But
The good way of describing it, you're right. But I love.
well, that's a jelly donut. Like no, Brock.
He's like, this guy died by a dart, like a suction cup, a poisonous suction cup. It's like, what is this? What is going on here? Yeah, but yeah, One Piece, they didn't even know what they had. They just thought they saw it being popular in Japan. They said, hey, we want the rights here in America. They're like, okay, here you go. Then they realized, oh, this isn't for kids.
yeah,
This isn't for serving it up.
For sure. But with that said, though, like there's also some cool things with like, especially like I was a huge fan of Digimon back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't remember if my first anime experience was either Pokemon or freaking Gundam Wing, which is a completely different time of the day. Like complete polar opposite.
Do you know how many like the level of spectrum that is? Yeah. It's like
for sure. Like oh my goodness.
Oh, it's wow. Like it's either that or the unedited version of Gundam Wing at late night. It's like Is there a series that you like? Like, what did you have a favorite anime series when growing up, or did you like, or something that you? Yeah,
I think I did.
It doesn't even need to be one. It could be several. It could be different ones if you have multiple.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely that core Toonami Adult Swim block with Yu Yu Hakusho, which was definitely a really like soft spot in my heart because like that was one of the first ones where my dad was like, "This is weird," and he watched it with me. It's like, oh, and you know what? To this day, my dad is the freaking like he's not closeted about being an anime fan anymore, but he is like he is a One Piece buff, dude.
Oh, really?
Like, he's been like 1,000 episodes in on the dub.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's all in. It's incredible. And he's just like have it on the back while he's working. It's like, yeah, Luffy, I love that guy. which is so funny to me because growing up as a kid, like this, my dad, he was like he's the army drill sergeant, and and like, you know what, we're at the point in our relationship where like I got him a little Luffy figurine for Christmas, and he's got it
Mhm.
right there on his little right on my his desk, and it's so funny to me.
Was he
It's cool to
Navy
see
or
something
was he
watch.
just like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. Oh my god, that's great. So, uh, I remember. I think what was it? My friend let me borrow. This is how old I am. My friend let me borrow Neon Genesis Evangelion on the old the VHS tapes, and I was like, "Oh, this is what anime is." It's like, I didn't overall, and I know people are probably going to hate me. I was a big fan of
You know, a
Evangelion.
lot of it, I know it went over my head. Like,
It was insane.
first
Yes.
I was like, "Yay, high!" But like, man, that soundtrack bopped.
It did bop. And that's what got to me. But there's like, it did enough. It did enough for me to be like, you know what? Let me see what other series are like out there. And then I was watching Dragon Ball Z, and then I was just like,
Yeah.
okay. Now I get it. Oh, and then Kenshin. Yeah, I love Samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, dude. Oh gosh. While we're on that vein, that one. Do you remember? One of my favorite series is Outlaw Star.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
remember that one?
Outlawed Star. Yeah, with the cat girl, and then
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, Gene Starwind. Oh.
that was a great show. Like I think it was late night. There was an unedited version at late night, and that's the one that I love to watch. And then there was a regular version. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. God, Outlawed Star.
Dude, like, oh gosh, the OG, like the whole thing, especially the promos. Because like when you think about it, we had Optimus freaking Prime, Peter Cullen, doing promos for like kids television. Like the hype you can't describe the amount of hype you would get just watching that block for like a couple hours, or like,
Oh yeah.
it's just like you got like Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen, like, and here comes Hamtaro. It's like, what? What? Like, it's insane. Like,
oh man,
like,
it is
I think
true.
that was definitely part of it. Like, I think that block specifically definitely probably made me like want to, like, you know, like really seriously consider like at least trying it out or like discovering more about it.
That was the end. That would make more sense. That makes sense. On like, it just didn't come out of nowhere. It's like you've heard it, and it was just parked in your mind for a long period of time. It was
television.
Rent free.
Oh they got me young.
They got you young, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I was just also wondering, like, do you have like if you had the chance or an opportunity, like, do you have any kind of role or dream role that you would love to play? Like, have a chance to like take your version or your crack at?
Oh man, as far as dream roles, like honestly, when I booked Beat like 3 years ago, I like everything else has just been like just kind of gravy or icing on the cake, really. Like when I like, because it was my first Funimation experience, like first like really experience in dubbing, and getting to play like a character that like I literally had the game. It's like a crazy, weird, full circle moment, and then like getting to like continue working and be in all these shows that I, you know, would not so long like 4 or 5 years ago would have been like, I don't know, sold a kidney just to be in the room. Like it's just weird, and I'm just so thankful. Like I don't know, like whatever role comes next, whatever they think I'm good for. Like if the audition hits just right, that's the one. Like because otherwise, I'm so content, and I'm so happy that I'm still like working. Like it's cool. It's really cool.
So you just I mean, like, yeah, you're definitely very, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's definitely something I can only even imagine. Like, I mean, maybe, well, would imagine to be like, you know, so.
Yeah, man. It's,
but I'm just saying I mean, like your story, just like the story of just you from starting to get into where you're at right now, it's already incredible as it is, you know. So
it's kind of weird,
but definitely keeping up. Yeah, but definitely keep up the great work that you're doing. I mean, it's just yeah. I loved it. Yeah. So, but anyways, before I go, it just, that was the last question I had, but is there like, what is the best place that like folks could like follow you or reach out or, you know, just say hi to and all that stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So, the best place is probably on Twitter. I've had this little account. It's at Van Bar Jr. and you can check me out there. That's the only one where I actually keep up with it. So yeah, check me out there.
That's great. Van, it was a pleasure geeking out with you today. It was awesome to talk to you finally. I hopefully we'll definitely see you with more future awesome roles in the future as well. So
thank you so much. Yeah, hope to keep doing it, and hopefully I don't lose, drop an octave just screaming my face off for a second. We'll see.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see your Ryusei. Like you were saying, how he's going to be yelling and stuff. So we'll see how that's going to go.
It'll be good.
Oh man. But guys, if you love the interview I did with Van Barr Jr., you can also listen to this one as well as the other full archive, all the other interviews on our YouTube page, the CFG channel, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss any of the other episodes of Pop Culture Gems. So once again, this is Davis signing out. Y'all take it easy.